Okay, so in this live stream, we're going to be talking about the President's Executive Order, Social Security, federal benefit payments, and answers to your questions, clarifying everything for you here in this short video. And yes, that's what we're going to talk about. All right, so first off, I don't know, a few days ago, I was out in a separate video, talked about the details of this, and I've also seen a number of other people out there talking about this as well. And realistically, they're kind of selling this as something that it's not. So I just want to clarify that for you. And again, I've seen some questions reaching out down below from those of you here in the community saying, hey, like, what do I need to do here, right? This is going to be changing in a big way. Like, how's it going to impact me? What do I need to do? Yeah, we're going to cover all of that. Okay, so as always, I like to set the groundwork, as in, I just want to share exactly what happened here. What is this executive order that the president signed? Is it directly related to Social Security? Is it a Social Security executive order? What does it mean for your monthly benefits? Again, we're going to cover all of that. Okay, so to clarify from the very start, is this a dedicated Social Security executive order? No. I've seen some people out there saying Social Security executive order. False. Not a thing. Not happening. That's not what this is. It is an executive order. It does impact Social Security beneficiaries. Some, not everybody. But it's definitely not a dedicated Social Security executive order. They cannot do that. He cannot do that. So that's not a thing legally that he can even do in the first place. Okay, so that's correction number one. Now, is this a new executive order? No, it's not. He actually signed it back in March. He signed this way back in March of this year. So I don't know what, this is the middle of September. So what was that, 6 months ago? Yeah, he signed this back 6 months ago in the middle of March, okay? Now, in separate videos, I have brought up the executive order on the screen for you to actually read and see. So it's, you've probably seen it. If you've been watching the videos here for a while now, I've had a video where I popped it up on the screen and you saw it. But here's what it is, and it goes into effect in just a matter of days. Now, I always like to put this into context. When am I hosting this live stream? In case you're watching the replay, right here, right now is Wednesday, September 17th, and it's about, I don't know, 6:35 or something like that, 6:35-ish p.m. East Coast time. I always like to give that as perspective, just so you know when this is being hosted right now. If you're watching live, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. If you're watching the replay, that's still awesome. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Okay, anyway, let's talk through the details of really quickly what this executive order is, when it goes into effect, who it's going to be impacting, and what does it do. Okay, it goes into effect September 30th. So today being the 17th, that's only 13 days away. Less than 2 weeks away is when this goes into effect fully, this executive order, okay? Again, signed into law 6 months ago, back in March. Now, here's what it is. The president signed this executive order basically eliminating paper checks. Okay? So everybody across the board, nobody will be getting paper checks anymore as of October 1st this year. So literally in a matter of like 2 weeks here, there will be no more paper checks going out from federal entities. What do I mean by that? The federal government, the Treasury, they will not send out paper checks. Social Security will not send out paper checks. Nobody's getting paper checks from the federal government anymore as of October 1st. Why? Why would they do this? They're pinching pennies. And there's not even pennies to pinch anymore because they did away with pennies too, right? They're pinching nickels or something, right? It's literally what it is. So anyway, the whole purpose of this is literally a cost-cutting measure and to extract any loss of these payments, any potential fraud or theft of these payments, anything like that. Okay, now just the other day in the video, I actually outlined this, but let me just point it out again. So according to the numbers and the statistics that I was looking at on this, kind of interesting, but for them to print paper checks, package them, and mail them out, it costs the federal government 35 cents for a paper payment to go out. And you might be thinking, who cares? It's 35 cents. You're right, it's 35 cents, but multiply that by hundreds of millions per year, and now you're talking a lot of money. You're talking a lot of money. I'm not sure what the math is on that, but you're talking a lot of money that the federal government is literally spending on the printing, the packaging, and the mailing, the delivery or distribution of paper payments to millions and millions of people every single year, again, in the form of Social Security checks. All Social Security checks, by the way, they go out via paper. We're also talking any other paper payments like Federal tax refunds, no more of those. That's not happening anymore. Not via paper anyway. It all must be electronic federal payments going forward as of October 1st. That's what this executive order states. Now, as I dug into this further, and again, I talked about this the other day as well, I just want to point this out. I find it to be kind of fascinating. But for the federal government to send an ACH payment, what that is basically an electronic payment into your bank account, right? So direct deposit, it's ACH is what that is. That costs them 15 cents. So they save 20 cents per transaction. And another really cool thing about it, there's not going to be loss of that payment. There's not going to be theft of that payment. There's not going to be somebody going around taking checks out of mailboxes and changing who they're made out to, and then, the fraud aspect of that as well. So it actually saves the federal government not only the printing, the packaging, and the delivery, but also the potential of the lost payments that go out, right? The payments that are stolen, or the reissuing of paper payments, things like that. Because when it comes down to ACH payments, they're very fast, like very, very quick. They enter into bank accounts very quickly, and the instance in which they could be lost, stolen, or fraudulent is very, very low at that point. So again, it also makes things more efficient and streamlined for them to do this. That's what that the executive order from the president that was signed into law back in March is indicating. And yes, this does impact Social Security, but no, it is not a dedicated executive order around Social Security, okay? So again, I want to make it very clear. The president cannot legally sign executive orders around Social Security. I've seen some headlines out there saying, Social Security executive order signed. No, that's totally false. Can't do it. False. Cannot do that. Legally, the president cannot do that. Okay? Here's what's interesting though. Maybe like, I don't know, 5-6 months ago or so, give or take a little bit, rather than signing an executive order, the president did sign a Social Security memorandum. Do you remember this one, right? So I find it to be kind of funny because he legally cannot sign executive orders around Social Security, but he signed a memorandum. It's basically like the same thing, but they gave it a different name, and now they say, yep, you're cool, you can do this. Yep, you can do that because it's a memorandum, not an executive order. So literally changed the name, and now it's allowed. So I don't know, I think that's kind of interesting. But anyway, let's not get too sidetracked here in this live stream. That's a totally another topic. We can talk about that memorandum. I talked about it months ago when it was signed. We don't need to focus on that one here. Okay. So this all goes into effect, and again, I'm kind of crossing these things off on the checklist here as far as when is it going to affect, who does it impact, all these details like this, kind of checking this off. Okay, so it goes into effect, again, September 30th. So as of October 1st, no more paper payments. It all must be electronic federal payments that go out as a result of this executive order, okay? And the whole purpose of this is to reduce theft, fraud, and to expedite the payments, and obviously save a bunch of money. That's the other purpose as well, okay? So that's what this is all about. Now, who does this impact within Social Security? Really good question. According to my research on this, it only impacts about 500,000 people. 500,000 people, and there's about 74.5 million people that are currently receiving Social Security benefits. So what's the math on that? I don't know. What's the percentage? I'm honestly not even sure. I'd have to run it on a calculator. I'm not sure what that percentage is, but it's a very, very small percentage of beneficiaries that are actually impacted by this. 500,000 roughly. Obviously, it's not exactly right on the button, but it's about 500,000, 500,000 people of the roughly 74.5 million people that receive benefits from Social Security, okay? So for those of you that are reaching out asking, what do I need to do? I'm already getting direct deposit. Do I need to change my direct deposit information? Answer is no, nothing, nada. You don't have to do anything, nothing. You have to do nothing. Nothing will change for you. This is just for the people that have been getting paper payments from the Social Security Administration because maybe they don't have a bank account, or maybe they just like getting paper checks in the mail, whatever it happens to be. That is who this is geared toward, okay? Now remember this much as well. I'm just going to point this out super quick. I know that this may not apply to many of you here in the community, and it's also months and months and months away. But next year, early next year, 2026, if you file a federal tax return, and if you are going to be receiving a federal refund, tax refund, just recognize you'll need to input direct deposit information on your tax return in order to get direct deposit as your refund. Okay, you're not going to get it as a paper payment anymore. Quick disclaimer, nope, not tax advice, not accounting advice, not professional or legal advice. I'm not your accountant. I'm not your CPA. I'm not your professional. I'm literally just a schmuck on YouTube sharing information. Okay, there you go. Anyways, I have to throw the disclaimer out there really quickly. Okay, anyway, so that's what this is all about. Okay, so if you're already on direct deposit, you don't have to do anything. You've got nothing to do. Okay, but here's what else is interesting about this. I don't remember the exact date, if I'm being honest with you. It was, I don't know, 2 months ago or so, give or take a little bit. The new acting commissioner of Social Security, Frank Bisignano, he actually did a one-on-one meeting with Elizabeth Warren. Could you imagine how that went? Right? A nasty cat fight, I bet, right? I can't even imagine how that exchange went. We have, Frank Bisignano, and then we have Elizabeth Warren. So anyway, I can only imagine how that ended. But anyway, they had a one-on-one meeting probably about 2 months ago. Again, I don't remember exactly the date that it happened. It was roughly 2-ish months ago. But Elizabeth Warren was pressing the acting commissioner, Frank, on this elimination of paper payments. Okay, like, hey, she was basically coming at him saying, hey, if you do this, you're basically going to eliminate the option for some people that don't have banking to basically get paid. You're cutting Social Security, right? They love saying this. And again, I'm not turning this into a political video. I'm just saying they love to say the same things over and over and over and over again, and they cram it down our throat. And honestly, it is so tired, like so sick of hearing this stuff. But anyway, they come back and they say the same old things, okay? Anyway, that's what she was saying. You're cutting Social Security by limiting access to payments by limiting paper checks, okay? Well, he came back and was like, no, we're actually not doing that. We're trying to protect the beneficiary. Anyway, long story short, at the end of that exchange, he did say, we'll still allow paper payments. Okay, so like what happened to the executive order then, right? So according to what the president's executive order said, and again, I could put a link for it down below in the description if you want me to. When I'm done with this, I can put a link down there if you want to read the actual executive order. Not that hard to find. I'll just find it online. I should have the link around somewhere. Okay. Watch for that. When I'm done with this, give me like 20, 30 minutes after the live stream is up. I'll put the link down below in the description if you want to see it. But anyway, so we have the president's executive order saying we're eliminating federal paper payments. Okay. Everything must be electronic as of basically October 1st. Okay. But then we have the acting commissioner coming back in this exchange with Elizabeth Warren a couple months ago saying, nah, we'll still send out some paper payments. Well, as I dug into that further, in very rare instances where somebody may not have any option to get an electronic federal payment, they will still offer paper payments in some very rare instances, okay? That's a very rare instance. They're not going to allow that for everybody. And even the 500,000 people that are currently receiving paper payments from Social Security, that number is probably going to be whittled down to probably a few tens of thousands, I would guess. They're going to, bring that number down significantly because some people, to be fair, just really enjoy getting a paper payment in their mailbox, right? Like, hey, I got a paper check. This is awesome. Well, they want to eliminate that. They don't want just, anybody to get just a paper payment because they like getting a paper check. They want that transition into electronic, okay? So they've actually been urging beneficiaries for months saying, you should probably sign up for for electronic payments. And they actually have a dedicated website set up within Social Security where you can actually make that transition, okay? Now remember this much as well. I want to throw this out there really quickly, which is, remember the rule that went into effect back on April 14th of this year. Do you remember what it was? Probably not, because you're probably thinking, come on, really? April 14th? That was like, how many months ago was that? 5 months ago? Yeah, 5 months ago. I'll tell you what it was. So back at the beginning of the year, they were having a heyday with all of the different changes coming into Social Security. You remember this? We talked about it. All the different press releases and changes and rollbacks and walkbacks and announcements. And then they're like, oh, just kidding, we're going to walk that back. Anyway, it was supposed to go into effect technically March 31st, and then they delayed it by 2 weeks out until April 14th. But what it was is that they basically said no more calling Social Security to change direct deposit information. So back in the olden days, olden days being prior to April 14th of this year when this new rule was enacted, you could call up Social Security and talk to an agent and be like, hey, yo, agent, my name is Joe Schmo, and I'm going to change my direct deposit info. Here's my routing number. Here's my bank info. Just trust me. My name really is Joe Schmo. And yeah, change my benefits there. Oh, by the way, here's my social 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Yeah, exactly. So they eliminated that. This was, again, they announced it back on, for some reason, I think it was on March 7th. I could be off on that again. It was in March sometime they announced it. It was supposed to go into effect the end of March, and then they actually rolled it back, and it went into effect April 14th of this year, okay? What is my point about that? Well, if you are one of these people getting paper payments from Social Security, the olden days, 5 months ago, you could have called Social Security and said, hey, I'm getting paper payments. Here's my checking account info. Why don't you give me direct deposits instead and sign that up there? Can't do that anymore. There's only a couple different options in which you can change direct deposit information now. I'll tell you, okay? Now, this information that I'm going to share with you right here pertains to all beneficiaries. So let's just say that you've been getting direct deposits for, I don't know, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and for some weird reason you want to change the account that you get your checks deposited into. This applies to you. If you're getting paper payments and you want to transition into direct deposits, this also applies to you, okay? This is the new rule. It's not even new anymore. It's new as of April 14th, but this is the rule around direct deposits. You can change it in primarily one of two ways, okay? Way number one is by going onto your My Social Security account through the your My Social Security account through the Social Security website, and then basically changing direct deposit information there, okay? Now, I've talked about the My Social Security account many times in videos and in live streams over the last 6 years or so. It is not required, but highly recommended. I would highly recommend getting that account. If you have not signed up there, I would definitely spend some time and do that. Again, you don't have to. I'm not here to, say, oh, go sign up for my Social Security account. I don't really care. If you don't want to, don't do it. But I found mine to be very handy, okay? Oh, quick side note, by the way, I just mentioned this the other day as well. Back on August 8th, so like, I don't know, a month and 9 days ago now, I received an overpayment letter from Social Security, okay? I'll bring you a video about that here very soon. I'll talk through all the details about that, but I got an overpayment letter. I got it resolved through my Social Security account. So I typically go on my Social Security account probably about 3 times a year realistically. I just log in, make sure everything looks good. When I got the overpayment letter, I was like, oh, this is not fun, right? This is not fun at all. Logged into my Social Security account, and sure enough, there it is, big ol' right across the middle of the screen, big ol', hey, you owe us this much money. And I was like, dude, back off, right? Back off me a little bit. Anyway, they basically said, we overpaid you, you owe all this money, and you have to pay it back like right now. But my point being is that I got that resolved through my Social Security account. It was honestly kind of handy to have. I'm glad that I had it rather than doing everything via paper, which honestly would not have been very fun. Okay, so anyway, that's option number one, to change your direct deposit info. For anybody, if you want to change your direct deposit information for anybody, checking account, savings account, whatever it happens to be, you can do it through your My Social Security account. Again, you don't have to sign up, but if you can, I would recommend it. It's just really nice to have. Log in 2-3 times a year to make sure everything looks good, and that's it. Just to have it out, accessible for you. It's a nice feature. Okay, so that's option one. Option two would be the last resort, in my opinion, which would be to visit a local field office and visit with somebody there and get your direct deposit info changed. Okay, so that's option number two, is you can go to a local field office and spend an entire day between driving, sitting there in the stinky waiting room. Have you ever noticed they all stink? They all kind of smell kind of bad. Have you ever noticed that? I've been to a few different offices and I'm like, why do they all smell the same? They all kind of stink a little bit. All right, anyway. So that's option number two. As far as how you can change direct deposit info, okay? So there you go. Just want that to be your option. Now, another question I've also received down below, which is, I have a Direct Express card. Do I need to do anything? Nope. Why? It's electronic. That's the electronic federal payment, okay? Doesn't matter how you get your electronic federal payment. It could be checking account, savings account. It could be a Direct Express card. Any of that. Doesn't matter. if you have any of those electronic methods, that's good. That suffices the executive order from the president for these electronic payments, okay? The only thing that they're cracking down on, and cracking down is kind of the wrong way to say that. I shouldn't say that. The only thing that they're changing and transitioning out of is literally the physical paper checks that arrive in your mailbox in a paper envelope. You crack her open and you're like, awesome, there's a check in here for however much money. And then you have to either deposit it, mobile deposit, or literally drive to your bank and deposit the thing, or cash it. I guess that's an option too, right? So anyway, that is what they're changing, is the paper payments, okay? And again, yes, this does impact Social Security beneficiaries. Not everybody. About 500,000 people, about 500,000 people is who this impacts. And it also impacts any payments from the federal government coming in the form of paper checks. Now, I did not look this statistic up. When I'm done with this live stream, I probably will, because I'm very curious to see what this number is. I would be willing to bet that there are significantly more people that get paper payments via federal tax return, as in a refund, federal tax refund, versus the number of people that actually get paper payments from Social Security as a monthly benefit check. I don't know what that number is as far as the number of people that get their federal tax refund as a paper payment, but I'd bet it's way more than the number of Social Security beneficiaries that are getting their monthly payments as paper checks. I don't know. I'm going to look that up because I'm very curious to know what that number is, but that's just my guess. Okay, so just take this into consideration. As of October 1st, federal government will no longer send out any paper payments. Everything must be electronic at that point, according to the president's executive order, again, that he signed back in March of this year. And yes, I've had a video talking about this where I popped up the executive order on the screen so you could see exactly what it was and read it for yourself. And by the way, if you still want to read it, well, first off, scroll back a few days, watch that video. I'm pretty sure I had the executive order in that one as well. But otherwise, when the president signed this executive order, like, I don't know, when was it, 6 months ago? I had a video right away and I was like, hey, check this out. Just be prepared. It's coming at the end of September. Well, we're practically at the end of September right now, right? Can you believe it? Certainly the middle of September, but yeah, coming in about 13 days from right now, okay? So that's what this is all about. So for those of you that have been reaching out, for those of you that have seen other headlines out there saying, Social Security executive order, get ready, big changes, stuff like this, this is what it is. It certainly does not impact everybody, but it does impact a number of people, and that's what it is. So for those of you who have been reaching out with your questions, I hope this answers it for you. If you have any further questions on this or want further clarification, please drop a comment down below. Let me know, and I can certainly come back in a dedicated video. I can come back in a live stream, whatever you need. Let me know. I can certainly talk about that. Now, one quick side note. I was going to make a dedicated video about this, but honestly, I don't really want to, so I'm not going to, but I'll just throw it in the end here for anybody that cares about this. Yes, the Federal Reserve did have their meeting today, the highly anticipated September FOMC meeting. It happened today, this afternoon. They cut interest rates by 25 basis points. That is 0.25%. My response to that is, who gives a rip? Who gives one rip? It's not going to do anything. So unfortunately, a quarter of 1%, 25 basis point rate cut is not going to do anything for us. I'm just telling you right now, we're not even going to feel the effects of this. So for all of us that have been banking on like, oh, I can't wait for the interest rate on my credit card to go down from like 21.5% to like 20% or something. For any of us that have been looking forward to that, well, unfortunately, it's going to be a little while till that happens, okay? Any kind of adjustable interest rates that you may have floating, or if you're trying to lock in a mortgage or a refinance or an auto loan or literally any type of financing right now, rates will come down a tiny, tiny bit, but it's not going to translate into a lot of money of savings. Not the hundreds of dollars of monthly savings that many people were talking about recently, saying, oh, when the Fed cuts, we're all going to save hundreds of dollars a month. No, we're going to save like a couple dollars per month, maybe if we're lucky, okay? So let's see what happens here. They've indicated more cuts to come. Let's just see what happens. Either way, that's what happened today. Just want to give you a quick update on that. And again, I didn't really feel the need to make a dedicated video talking about that. I could have, but I thought, honestly, I don't really want to. I'll just add it on the end here. So, all right, anyway, that's what I got for you right here on this one. As always, typically I have a phone number on the screen, like right there. I say, hey, call that number. to get some help with Medicare, well, obviously the phone number's not there. And in live streams, they say, hey, there's a phone number right there. Check out that phone number. Well, obviously the phone number's not there. So anyway, down below in the chat box, the phone number may be there. If you are one of the 70 million people, I know you're probably sick of hearing about this. Let me throw this out there super fast. If you're one of the 70 million people currently on Medicare, there's a phone number down below in the chat, or when I'm done with this live stream, I'll put the phone number down below in the description and at the top of the comment section. Write that phone number down, take a picture, take a screenshot. That is going to be your best friend, your best alibi, and that money could honestly be your golden ticket worth hundreds of dollars a month, possibly thousands of dollars a year from that phone number. It's literally a free resource to help you with your Medicare. In fact, I'll tell you a quick little story. I saw my dad today, okay? Got together with my dad for a little while. Actually, my dad and I were together for too many hours today. We were together for a long time working on a project, and honestly, it sucked. We were not having fun. It was not a fun time with my dad today. Well, I mean, I enjoyed the time with my dad. I really enjoyed that, but I'm saying the thing that we were working on, not fun at all. Anyway, as we were working and frustrated, I was talking and I was like, hey, did you get your annual notice of change? And he's like, I got it. We got it yesterday. So my mom and dad literally got their annual notice of change. Okay, I talked about this yesterday in the video. Please watch that video. So massively important. Anyway, if you are currently on a Medicare Advantage plan or a Part D plan, okay? My parents are on Medicare Advantage plans. I'm just being fair with you, okay? That's what they have. I don't even know what they have, but they do have Medicare Advantage plans. So they got the annual notice of change yesterday, okay? You'll be getting it before the end of September if you've not gotten it yet. If you're on Medicare Advantage or Medicare Part D, you must be getting this before the end of September. Anyway, point being, I was like, so you got your annual notice of change? He's like, yep, got it. I was like, okay, are they changing it? He's like, yeah, they're changing our plan in a huge way. He's like, we're definitely shopping plans in October. Yeah, that's the problem. These plans change so much every single year. And I know that you're probably sick of me hearing about or talking about this. Let me be fair with you. Sometimes I get sick of talking about this. I know how vitally important this is. And I know how many people are not going to shop their plan and get any help with it, and they're going to be stuck with an awful plan that does not cover them. I don't want anybody here in this community to suffer through that. Seriously, this is for you. It's not for me, okay? I'm just being fair with you. It's not for me. This is for you. It is a free resource to make sure that you are properly covered and that you're not stuck with some, bad plan that's not going to cover you properly. For example, my parents have dental coverage on their plan, and my dad's like, they cut our dental coverage by like hundreds of dollars. And he's like, Mom and I need some dental work. And he's like, we're changing our plan. We need better dental coverage. They cut it so much. It's not even worth it for them to keep their same plan anymore. So they're literally getting new plans because they got that annual notice of change. And if they would not have read through that letter, and if they're not making the call, they'd be locked into this plan, not properly covered. And then when they go to the dentist, they're going to get hosed twice. Hosed once from the dentist and hosed again from their insurance company, right? So I'm just saying, it's so vitally important to look through this. And again, please do this. I really was on my dad today. I was like, dude, you have to call. Please do yourself a favor. Do not get stuck financially in a bad plan. He's like, don't worry, I'm calling. I'm like, good. Seriously. Anyway, so I'm trying to pound the table on this and just make sure that all of you are properly protected. The phone number's down below. It's 100% for free, 100% for free to talk to them. And again, that's why I said that is going to be your best friend, your best alibi, and it could possibly save you hundreds or thousands of dollars when you talk to them. And just let them look at your situation and see what is out there and what options you may have, okay? So anyway, just please do that for yourself. And it's going to get nuts here soon. Anyway, that phone number is down below for you. It's 100% for free. Usually it's on the screen right there in videos or right there in live streams. Obviously, it's not there right now, but it's down below, and I'll put it down below in the description or at the top of the chat. What's that thing called? Comment section. Sorry. Top of the comment section. I'll put it there when I'm done with this live stream. And yeah. By the way, after you talk to them, drop a comment down below on any video. Use the word chapter within it. Let me know how it goes, how much money you saved, what happened, and I'll give you a shout out in a future video. I've been giving shout outs to all kinds of people lately, featuring people. I mean, a lot of big money savings, okay? Kathy McCauley, for example, she reached out, I think like 2 weeks ago or so. She's saving $2,000 because she made the call. Vikings Bears is saving $1,000. Miriam McGee, $1,200. Ken Johnson, $174 a month, right? $2,000 a year. It's nuts. I could go on and on. I could rattle off all kinds of names that you probably heard me say before. All right, anyway. Let's leave it at that. I hope this helps you. Please drop some comments down below. Let me know what else I can do for you. If you want me to come back in another dedicated live stream and talk through this further or clarify anything, please let me know. I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Have been for years. I'm not going anywhere. 6,000 plus videos. Yeah, that's not a track record of a person that's going to be giving up anytime soon. My point being is that not going anywhere, okay? I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know what I can do for you. Drop your comments down below, your concerns. I can come back again. Not a problem. I don't mind doing this, okay? I enjoy doing what I can to help all of you. I love saving money myself, and I love helping people save money. I don't know. I feel like I should have like a talk show, right? The Money Saving Podcast or something. I don't know. There's probably already a billion of those out there, but my point being is I really enjoy it because I just see the value in saving money. It's nuts how much money you can save just by doing some simple free steps. I do it all the time. All right, anyway, hope this helps. Otherwise, please subscribe if you're new here. Check out the phone number down below at the top of the chat. Otherwise, it will be down below in the description or the top of the comment section soon when I get done with this, when I end this live stream here. Otherwise, hope this helps to answer your questions on the President's executive order and what this means for Social Security benefits and federal benefit payments going forward. All right, anyway, enjoy your evening. Thanks again for being here. If you're still watching, I would say you may want to click off now because I'm going to unplug the microphone and my phone's going to start talking. You can hang around if you want. It's just going to sound funny. All right, anyway, here we go. Let's do this. Finish button. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Cancel button. All right, see you later.